Most people think waitresses are invisible. We're the ones who refill coffee cups, clear plates, and smile politely while overhearing secrets we were never meant to hear. But that night, I overheard something that could have destroyed an empire. It was supposed to be just another late shift at the restaurant, a night of serving expensive wines to men in pressed suits who hardly looked me in the eye. But when I passed the corner booth where the billionaire sat with his team, I froze. He was about to sign a deal worth $100 million. Everyone at that table was leaning forward, eyes on the contract. The champagne was chilling, the pens were uncapped, the air electric with greed and anticipation. And then I saw it. 3 neat numbers written into the formula on the contract. Wrong numbers. Deliberately wrong. My heart skipped. I wasn't supposed to know the formula, but I did. My brother had worked on it before he died. He had poured his entire soul into that project. And seeing it tampered with? It was like watching him be erased all over again. I had 2 choices: walk past and stay silent, like a good little waitress, or whisper the truth that could change everything. I leaned in, my tray shaking in my hands, and whispered, "That's the wrong formula." Please do make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell to support us. The billionaire's pen froze mid-stroke. He turned slowly, his sharp grey eyes drilling into me. "Repeat that," he said, his voice calm but carrying the weight of command. My tray wobbled in my hands, but I forced myself to speak. "The formula. On the contract. It's wrong." The slick-haired man beside him scoffed. "Sir, she's just some waitress looking for attention. She doesn't." "Quiet," the billionaire snapped without looking at him. His gaze stayed locked on me. "How do you know that?" I swallowed hard. "Because my brother worked on it. Before he passed. I've seen his notes. And what's written there isn't his work. Someone changed it." The table went silent. I could hear my own heart thundering in my chest. The billionaire leaned back, expression unreadable. "Interesting." He folded the contract and slipped it into his jacket pocket. "Gentlemen, this meeting is over." The men around him erupted in protest. "What are you talking about?" one shouted. "We spent months." But the billionaire stood, cutting them off. "If she's right, then this contract is a trap. If she's wrong," his eyes flicked to me again, "then I'll deal with her myself." My breath caught. I had no idea if I'd just saved him or destroyed myself. I thought that would be the end of it. That he'd toss me aside, fire me, or worse, make sure I disappeared for daring to interfere in his world. But the very next night, he returned to the restaurant. Alone. He waited until my shift was nearly over, then motioned me to sit across from him. My legs trembled as I obeyed. "You," he said, "are either the bravest woman I've ever met, or the stupidest." I tried to laugh, but it came out shaky. "Probably both." He didn't smile. "What you said last night. About the formula. Prove it." And so, for the next hour, I told him everything. How my brother had worked tirelessly on a renewable energy breakthrough, how he had confided in me about his notes, and how after his death, the company he worked for had suddenly lost the real formula. The version in that contract had flaws subtle enough that most people wouldn't catch them. But my brother had explained every line to me. When I finished, the billionaire steepled his fingers and studied me. "If what you're saying is true, someone on my team betrayed me." My stomach knotted. Or worse. They betrayed my brother's legacy. For the first time, something softened in his eyes. "What's your name?" "Lena." He nodded slowly. Lena, you may have just saved me $100 million. But you've also put yourself in danger. Danger found me faster than I expected. 2 days later, as I walked home after a late shift, a black SUV slowed beside me. The tinted window rolled down just enough for a voice to hiss. Stay out of things you don't understand, waitress. My blood ran cold. The SUV sped off, leaving me shaking on the sidewalk. I didn't know who to call. Police wouldn't believe me. So I did the only thing I could. I called him. Within an hour, the billionaire's car pulled up outside my apartment. He stepped out, immaculately dressed, like danger didn't touch him. But his eyes, sharp, restless, told me he already knew. They came for you, he said. Not a question. Yes. My voice cracked. They know I talked to you. His jaw tightened. Then you stay with me. Until this is finished. I stared at him. Stay with you. In your world. He held out his hand. Lena, you're already in my world. His world was nothing like mine. Gleaming towers, private jets, rooms so vast I felt like I might drown in them. Yet he treated me not as an intruder, but as an ally. Together, we went through documents, emails, contracts. And there it was, a pattern of manipulation, buried deep. His trusted partner, the slick-haired man, had been quietly selling out pieces of the company, feeding false data, setting up the billionaire to fail. And my brother's stolen formula. It was the linchpin. The billionaire slammed the folder shut. He wanted me ruined. He wanted the world to believe the formula was worthless, so he could buy it back cheap. And your brother's death. He stopped, eyes dark. Maybe it wasn't an accident after all. My breath hitched. My brother's car crash. The unanswered questions. Could it be? The billionaire's voice was ice. We're going to expose him. The confrontation happened at a gala, under glittering chandeliers. The slick-haired traitor was there, smiling smugly, believing the deal was still on. But when the billionaire took the stage, he dropped a bomb. Tonight, he said, voice carrying through the hall, we celebrate not betrayal, but truth. He held up the real formula, my brother's formula. And this truth belongs not to thieves, but to the world. Gasps rippled through the crowd. The traitor went pale, rushing forward. This is outrageous, you can't. Security closed in. The billionaire's words cut like steel. I can. And I will. The traitor was dragged away, shouting threats. And I, just a waitress, stood in the back, tears streaming down my face. My brother's work was safe. His name would not be forgotten. In the weeks that followed, everything changed. The billionaire launched the renewable energy project under my brother's name. Reporters swarmed, praising the innovation. Investors poured in. And me. I was no longer just a waitress. One morning, he handed me a folder. Inside was a position, head of the foundation he created to honor my brother. My breath caught. I don't deserve this, I whispered. He looked at me steadily. You saved it. You saved me. And for the first time, I believed him. The world saw me as invisible. But that night, with just a whisper, I had rewritten everything.